Hidden Black's Law, we back.
Yeah. This cast is for educational entertainment purposes, specifically and only. All the things said and stated are done so for your education. If you would like counsel or an attorney, we advise that you seek one at your discretion. This is not legal advice. It is information on the law. If you choose to use any of this information, we are not legally obligated or liable for anything that you do, and take that into advisement. And notice has been given.
Yo, am I back?
I want to show y'all something before y'all get started, man. I've had this in the pocket. I believe you gave it to me. Oh man, can you see it?
Yeah.
Can't see the writing, but you see it's paper.
Yeah, this the little Constitution, the pocket side.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Clap that up. Clap that up.
That's magic. Yes,
Yeah.
there we go.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. All right. Now we clap.
Right there in the pocket.
That's
Man, keeping the law with you is a scary thing for anyone who does not abide by it.
Yeah.
Because it's legally because when you have that, especially if they have recordings like they normally do, it puts it on a record that you have the law right there in front of you being read to them, or they can plainly see. So anything to say that they can't, they can be held liable for, because now you're just committing fraud.
The game is laid out in front of them.
Yeah. Like they say, the game is to be sold, not to be told. They try to sell you something. They try to sell you something, and you told them something different. That was like, wait a second. That's not the game.
Yeah.
That's not the game I play.
It ain't adding up. I got the receipt.
Man. That's something I have I know you know Bach. I know you know Plain Sight, but you ever seen my video? You know, the law is one thing they don't want to talk about.
Absolutely.
They walk off from that. No, we don't want to talk about that.
Discussion.
Yes, sir.
We don't want to talk about that.
They want to talk about presumption of authority. And it's hilarious because they literally verbalize themselves in that fashion. So yeah, no law.
If you know the law, you don't have to be worried about if somebody is trying to tell you about the law.
Facts.
You want to do the Hale versus Hinkle?
Yeah, I got you. All right. So Hale versus Hinkle was decided by the United States Supreme Court in 1906. The opinion of the court states, the individual may stand upon his constitutional rights as a citizen. He is entitled to carry on his private business in his own way. His power to contract is unlimited. He owes no duty to the state, to his neighbors, to divulge his business, or to open doors to an investigation, so far as it may tend to incriminate him. He owes no duty to the state, since he receives nothing therefrom beyond the protection of his life and property. His rights are such as existed by the law of the land, common law, long antecedent, long before, of the organization of the state, and can be taken from him, and cannot only be taken from him by due process of law, and in accordance with the Constitution. He owes nothing to the public, so long as he does not trespass upon their rights. So
all the facts.
Stand firm.
All facts. See, it's one thing to have someone tell you what something says. It's another thing to sit there and read it for yourself.
Precisely.
Because everybody wants to tell you what law says. Well, the law says this. Well, can you show it to me? That's when they get into trouble. They be like, can you show it to me? And they be like, oh, just trust me, it's what it says. I've had we're going off script a little bit, but I've had
That's relevant.
when I was when I was first getting knowledgeable about things. I had a judge hold up a book in the courtroom. When I go to traffic court, this is when I used to go to traffic court. I had to, be amongst the regular people. A judge, it was literally held up his book. He was like, he asked him, "Can you show me the law?" He said, he poked up his book and said, "It's in here." And that was it. I didn't know how to take that, because like I said, I was new to it and everything. And he just holding up a book and saying, "It's in here." He didn't tell me a citation. He didn't tell me the page number. He didn't tell me what it said. He just like, "It's in this book."
Damn. Yeah, the game's so dirty.
I mean, what do you do with that? It's like, well, can you show me? No, just trust me, it's in here. All right.
That's how folks let them run things.
Yeah. So, like I said, when you know it, you don't have to worry about someone trying to tell you it's in here. Because if they have no tangible evidence for what they're saying, then it's not in there.
Yep.
You ever seen a movie called Drop Dead Fred?
I've never seen that movie.
Drop Dead Fred is an old movie I used to watch when I was a kid.
I remember
a couple times. I used to watch it. I've watched it many times. Drop Dead Fred, where this girl had an imaginary friend. It was called Drop Dead Fred, and he would actually go around and cause trouble. And she would always be like, "Fred did it. Fred did it." And no one would believe her. No one would believe her because Fred is somebody that no one could see. Now she could see him. It's her imaginary friend, Drop Dead Fred. He's there. He's doing it. It's Fred. It's not me. But no one can see it. So she blamed everything on Fred. She told you Fred did it. And then, but the difference is in reality, in the life we live right now, if you say Fred did it, everybody's like, you know what? Fred did do it. My bad. I'm sorry. That's the court system that we live in. Is Fred did it? It's in here somewhere. I told you it did it. This is what it says. Oh, well, since you said that's what it said, I must be true. So always remember, imaginary is not the same thing as reality. But to cast like we're supposed to do it, and not to get off topic any too much further. What we got for him today?
Hey, so we got this video that we need to review because it's going to go into this brand new information that we've been privy to.
It's not brand new. I just haven't.
Well, I mean,
yeah. We just haven't made highlight of it yet.
So yeah, this one here, it's going to be pretty good. It's just devastating. I'm ready for it. So let's check out that video segment because we need to, or should we preference it a little bit because it is jive. It's a little raw.
Oh well, this is viewer discretion is advised. There's a lot of it in here that as a parent, I would be very livid and had to be restrained if it happened to any one of if it happened to my son. So always remember, try to keep your emotions in check because that is their call sign to do whatever they want to.
It's the trump card.
As I say, parental advisory. Viewer discretion is advised. You got the video?
All right, yeah. I'm open right now.
All right. Man. This would cause a fight, though. I'm not even gonna lie. This would definitely cause a fight.
I'm not going to get too much into it, but it feels like the only way. Like, talk about violation.
Well, it is by the law definition is technically gotten to the area of sexual assault.
Yeah.
So sleep. Yeah.
Oh, it went crazy, man.
No, I'm not going to.
Oh, no.
Stop.
Hey,
Stop.
Come on, man. You can't do that, bro.
I can. So your plans changed just like that?
Yeah, they did.
Your ID and all that's in the car? No, I thought you had something in your mouth.
No.
All right, wait right here for me. There's at least 3 or 4 people in the car. Is it? We're not going to dirty your clothes. What you got in your front pocket right now? That's just money? What kind of money? Like Christmas money? How much money is it?
No need to ask what kind of money is it.
No, I'm not going to.
Oh, man.
Stop.
Hey,
Stop.
Come on, man. You can't do that, bro.
I can. That's for sure. I'm going to put this on the back bumper. So you're driving the car. You're responsible for everything in it, ma'am, okay? Well, we're trying to figure it out.
I don't know what he's tugging at.
Yes.
That's crazy. Loosen your nuts up.
Hey, how far are you about to? You about to
And
do
then
that research?
this is actually a good section too, because they walk into a house with no warrant, guns drawn.
Pull out a gun. Nobody even knows you're there.
Yep.
No warrant. No telling you. Cops. Let us in.
Yeah,
No police. Nothing. No warrant whatsoever.
So you let
enter any home. You need a search warrant. It's mandatory.
So you got to decide right now. Do you want to listen to me? What we do is I take a swab of the inside of the mouth with a Q-tip. Okay. No. Shut your mouth. Or I'm gonna put you in the car and put you in detention. Your mom won't have a choice. Now, this is what
in the coercion, trying to coerce his mom into giving up his evidence against him.
Hey, what's up? If you don't shut the fuck up, I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Whoa.
No, you hollering. You causing disturbance. And you think I'm playing with you? I will fuck you up.
Damn.
You do it. I will fuck you. You gotta live with that karma, man. Ain't no karma. I'm not dirty because you don't know the law. Do it. I don't give a fuck. I can't.
Come on, man.
Wow.
Walk that way. Do not walk by my car again. You don't need to say what you've been in the back seat with him for the last 30 minutes. You know what he's got. What he had to say. Ain't nothing new. Have a good day.
No search warrant, no nothing.
Damn. It's heartbreaking, man.
Now, for context, everything about that stop was illegal and unlawful. There's nothing legal about anything they did. They have there's no statute or code that allows them to do what they did. They would tell you, like he said on video, I can't. I know the law. There is no one ever submitted to being searched. They never gave a reason for why they were searching in the first place. They broke into someone's home, breaking, entering. It was breaking, entering. armed breaking and entering. It wasn't just regular breaking and entering. They were armed. So now you have taken to the fact that they had firearms, which is it's an assault for one. That's an assault charge, and assault, kidnapping. There's so many things that's wrong with that video. Sexual assault. It was just
nuts. Like,
it was just. So I don't know what he kept. I'm so glad the video was edited to the fact that they didn't show him keep tugging at him, because I don't know what you're trying to search for by tugging on him. I'm just gonna keep saying tugging on him because I ain't gonna say what it actually is because everybody know what that is.
Absolutely.
So at the same time, I want to preface that he was 16. He's a minor. So that's why they were trying to get the mom to give consent to swab his cheek and all these other things to try to find drugs on him. Mind you, they didn't find any drugs on him. They were trying to attempt to find drugs on him. They spotted to preface the video, they spotted a automobile. They'll call it a vehicle, but they were spotted an automobile, people in a car, a bunch of black people that they didn't like. That's what they do. It's a fact. Everyone knows it. The FBI has said it. The CIA has said it. The federal government has said it. It doesn't matter who you ask. Everyone has said the same thing. They will do the whole you fit the description type. Because you fit the description means you're black. So that's easy to fit. They then went through a process of committing crime after crime after crime. Now, we've talked about how, as an officer, quote unquote, of the law, is what they'll tell you. Once you commit a criminal act while on duty, you are no longer doing it as an officer or a law enforcement agent. You are doing it as an individual. You are doing it on your own because the law does not give you the right to do any of those things.
You're a rogue.
You're a rogue agent. You are now acting as a criminal. You're not doing it as anything
involved with the state.
Involvement with the state. Yes, you do not work for us at that moment that you did that crime. So when they try to, like you said, use the whole preface of officer, well, they're trying to get rid of the legal and lawful jurisdiction that you have to claim remedy, which means jail time or monetary or both.
Wait, I think it's time we segue.
Yeah, this is one we're going to segue right now. So go ahead. You want to do the U.S. Title 18 242.
Yeah,
it's very important to know.
I'm sorry. I want to read it off of my screen. Here we go. All right. Let me take a sip of water real quick. This one, as you can see, the title of it is Deprivation of Rights Under Color of Law.
Explain to them again what color of law is.
Oh, yeah. It's color of law is synonymous with state action. Shall I actually grab the dictionary?
You can if you like. Remember, we'll take a couple minutes for that. Yeah. We just brief.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it. Yeah, we covered this.
Summarize. It's synonymous with state action. State action, by definition, word for word, verbatim, is anything done by a government. Anything done by a government. So, anytime they say they are not acting under color of law, well, color of law is anything done by a government. It doesn't say that anything within legal right or anything. It's just anything done by a government. That is color of law, because the government can only deal in business. The law knows that. The government knows that. So anything that's done outside of business is color of law from that moment on.
Because they can't even. Yep. Here it is, just in case, because this is quick. The appearance or semblance without the substance of a legal right. Like so succinctly. They literally don't have it. It's not theirs.
So that's where Title 18, U.S. Code, Title 18, subsection 242. Because U.S. Code Title 18, U.S. Code is a very, very useful one to have, because it has all the things you need to know in it, I should say. It's like a Cliff Notes. you want to do like that of what you need to know.
So here's that summation. I mean, codified. I just realized why my throat is sore. I've been performing all weekend. Okay, here we go. Whoever, under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom, willfully subjects any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or to different punishment, pains, or penalties on account of such of a person being an alien or by reason of his color or race, then are prescribed for the punishment of citizens, shall be fined underneath this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both, and if bodily injury results from the act committed in violation of this section, or if such acts include the use, attempted use, or threatened use of a dangerous weapon, explosives, or fire, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both, and if death results from these acts committed in violation of this section, or if such acts include kidnapping or an attempt to kidnap, aggravated sexual abuse, or an attempt to commit aggravated sexual abuse, or an attempt to kill, shall be fined underneath this title or imprisoned for any term of years or for life or both, or may be sentenced to death.
Now, this is the law. I want to say that. This is their code. This is their statutes. This is what they go by. In it, they have clearly told you these are the penalties we will impose for anyone who does this. You just saw a video stating, actually showing all those things to you. Now, when this goes to trial, or if it ever goes to trial, do you think any of this will be brought up?
Well, if attorneys are involved, I'm going to automatically say no.
Mark, do you think any of this will be brought up?
Absolutely not.
So this is what I want to get off. Try to convey. Why do you think none of this will be brought up? What is the purpose? How does it help anyone? Because it doesn't. That's the whole point. It doesn't help anyone.
Right.
It gives the court a win. It gives everyone, when you go to court or in government, works with each other, right? They're all working for the same people. If you are ever trying to seek remedy from people who work with the same people who are you trying to seek remedy from, how often do you think you're going to get it? When has your coworker ever been the one to throw you under the bus, and it's not even to your boss, to somebody to say you work in a store and somebody comes in trying to buy something and they try to say that, oh, this man tried to sell me a fake or whatever. You're not going to support that just because the guy walked in the store. You're going to support your coworker. You're like, I don't know what he's talking about. Your coworker says, I don't know what he's talking about. You're like, sir, he says you don't know what you're talking about. And I don't know what you're talking about. So who's out? Who's the odd man out? The person that walked in the store. Anytime you get into a legal battle, you are the odd man out. The person walking to the store.
You know, it's funny. I was actually going to say they are kind of the boss, though. I mean, they are.
They're the managers.
Public servants.
They're managers.
Well, the facts, actually, yeah.
They're managers pretending to be bosses. They're the guy they're the one guy that you go into the store and be like, let me speak to your boss. Well, I am the boss. No, the owner of the store. Who says I don't own the store? Try to tell you everything, and then you try to come and you call the company itself and speak to the heads, and they're like, oh, and then he gets fired. Because everyone is always trying to pretend like they're in charge. And just like it says, color of law. You're pretending everything is a law and just when it's not actually even written down anywhere because you just made it up. So that's my ramble.
No, you're good. Yeah. I was about to make a comment, but I lost my train of thought.
You want to continue on from there, or you want to try to remember what you're doing?
I'm gonna move on to the next. It'll probably just come back to me as things do.
Okay. So read off. Remember, you have this right here. You see the picture. U.S. Excuse me. It's written differently, but yeah, it's still 18 U.S. code. It's U.S. code Title 18, whatever you want to call it. Subsection 242.
Yeah, do your own due diligence. Read it.
You will never ever hear anyone else talk about deprivation of rights under color of law, because no one wants to say it.
Yeah, I think I was just going to get back into attorneys, but yeah, I mean, you pretty much covered it about the fact that they're all interconnected in the system. So why would they ever bring up this code that absolutely protects you from what they're wrongdoing? The legislative branch is in on it. That's like, this should be more paramount than all that little citation BS that they're going to go look up in various, they're going to dig through code books to vaguely, vaguely hint that in some reality they could possibly do something that they're absolutely doing, which is really a violation, because this is way more paramount. And you think they don't know it?
Everything is basically an assumption. Well, this might happen, and they always tell you, well, if this happens, well, you could have done this. Well, everything works on fictional tales. When your whole life works on fictional tales, your life is not real.
Yeah. So you want to hit the next one?
You want to do the Title 18, U.S. Title 18, Part 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Chapter 2.
Yeah. Yep. U.S. Title 18, Part 1, Chapter 2, Subsection 31.6. Mind you, I'm sorry, I'm so mad I knew this by heart. But the term is motor vehicle. And like you said, definitions matter. All words matter. Motor vehicle, a term motor vehicle means every description of carriage or conveyance propelled and drawn by mechanical power. And drawn by mechanical power and used for commercial purposes on the highways and transportation of passengers and property or cargo. Remember, it says and, not just on the roadway.
It's inclusive. Both things need to be occurring at once for that to be the situation.
We harp on this because of the fact it says this in Title 18, Chapter 1. Title 18, Part 1, Chapter 2, Subsection 31.10, which is it further explains what they were talking about, because they want to make sure that you know, which is quite odd. They want to make sure that you know that they were not incorrect in what they said in the beginning. .10 is used for commercial purposes. The term used for commercial purposes means that the carriages of persons or property for any fee, fare, rate, charge, or consideration, or directly or indirectly in connection with business, or under intended use for profit. Intended use for it has to be. They literally explain it to you. You can't say that. Oh, that's not what they meant when they said vehicle, motor vehicle. That's not what they meant when they say vehicle. They literally told you that's what they meant. They told you it meant for business. That's what they. I mean, like I said, the words are on the screen. We don't say it. I didn't say it. Plain Sight didn't say it. Bach didn't say it. Neither one of us said it. We just read it. So if you have an issue with the definitions of the words for the federal government, I think you should take it up with the federal government, because they're the ones who wrote it.
Facts. Talk to them boys.
So I really don't know how else to make it more clear.
These facts are here for you.
There's no way. I don't think I can possibly make it clearer or readily available to be understood and then comprehended.
And then some dummy gonna come up to you and be like, "Are you some type of lawyer?"
We ain't want to even to get into definitions of that because that's a whole nother issue. Like because first you must understand what a lawyer is in the first place to even say that. So that's a whole nother issue. But like I said, we just want to go on that. And like I said, what more can I say?
It's exhaustive at this point, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
All right. We're looking Sims versus Ahems. And this is a case from 1925. Go ahead, my bad.
I was going just to interject. Do you want to do that first, or do you want to do Article 3?
You're right. I did want to do Article 3, Section 2. I take that back. That's on me.
Okay.
All right. So, Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution, Clause 1. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising underneath this Constitution, the laws of the United States, and treaties made or which shall be made under their authority, to all cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls, to all cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction, to controversies to which the United States shall be a party, to controversies between two or more states, between a state and citizens of another state, between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state claiming lands under grants of different states, and between a state or the citizens thereof and the foreign states, citizens or subjects. Worded very specifically.
Very specific.
Oh.
All the instances in which the United States government has authority on matters.
Oh.
Admiralty and maritime jurisdiction only. They actually made it they emphasized
only.
That. That's common. That's business. Specifically.
It's called the definition is law of the sea. It's trade. It actually even tells you that it's trade. So I didn't write it. Plain Sight didn't write it. Bach didn't write it. We just read it. So again, if you have issues with what was being read, I suggest you take it up with the Supreme Court of the United States. I'm sure they will hear you out.
Yeah, they'll hear.
Out the door.
Yes, they will hear you out the door. They're like, "Sir, can you leave? Sir, sir." Well, I'll show you to the door.
Thank you. That's
bailiff. Bailiff. Sims versus Ahems.
Yeah, you want to do it?
I got it. Sims versus Ahems, 1925. Now, always remember, any law that has never been outlawed is good law.
Hey, you know what's funny about this one?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, no, I was going to say, it's funny about this one is we were just talking about the definition of lawyer in kind of a funny, offhanded way, but continue, sorry.
Yeah. So, what I was going to say is that law is not changed like statutes or codes. Statutes and codes are changed by politicians and legislative branches. Legislative branches do not deal with law. There's no such thing as legislative law. So when they tell you it's the law, they're just like it's called. They're going to tell you it's a driveway, and they're going to tell you start speeding off. Well, you've never sped off on a driveway because you can't drive on a driveway. It's literally for parking. You can speed on the parkway, and that's like someone tell you to park on a parkway. Well, you can't park on a parkway. You'll get into an accident, but you can do it. Just because someone tells you it has to do with doesn't mean it does. If they say the Federal Reserve is federal, no, it's not. It has nothing to do with the federal government. It's a business. It's a privately owned corporation.
So I'd like to put legislative law into perspective for anyone. I mean, we're doing that. So
go ahead.
You know how in these days, we were talking about this the other day, in like the grocery stores, things of that nature, you have food And then you have a separate subcategory. They don't even necessarily label it as such, but it's widely regarded and understood to be food-like products. When you're dealing with legislative law, you're dealing with an artificial organism entity that does not really exist. It's a law-like product made by the United States.
100% beef.
My favorite of all time. McDonald's is evil, dog. Don't tell me nothing.
So the reason we're laughing is this is also another side note, but it comes in the context of what we're trying to get you to comprehend and understand. McDonald's copyrighted the name 100% beef. So when they put it on products, 100% beef, they are not lying. It's not beef that you know from a cow, but it is 100% beef because they copyrighted the name.
Their signature line of fake meat is called 100% beef. It's brilliant.
100% beef. So you think you're thinking you're getting beef, but you're getting 100% beef. Yeah, obviously.
Walmart, Kmart, Target.
100% beef. 100% beef. Like just, man, the trickeration.
Wow.
All like products. That's what they're offering you.
Food-like products. But just go to the Sims and the harem. The practice of law. Mind you, the practice of law is an occupation of common rights. I mean, anyone has the ability to practice law. They didn't say statute because that has to do with attorneys. Law has to do with every man, woman, and child. You live under law. You don't live under statute. So in order for you to do that, you have to get a business license to practice, to work under statutes, which is why attorneys have certifications known as the Bar Association. You get certified by the Bar Association. You get degrees in corporate law. Right? So when you get a lawyer or attorney, they have a business license. But as you see and read in front of you, the practice of law is an occupation of common right. So that means anyone can do it. So if anyone can practice law, why do they tell you need an attorney?
I know why. The same reason why 242 won't come up.
Pretty much. And because of what appears to be a lawful command on the surface, many citizens, because of their respect for what appears to be law, remember, appears to be law, which is color of law, which appears to be law, are cunningly coerced into waiving their rights to ignorance. Because when people just coming up and telling you what things are is not the same as you knowing what things are. People always say, well, I heard, or someone told me. That's hearsay. That's not even admissible in court. Why are you letting hearsay run your life? Because you didn't read it yourself. You don't know it to be true. If you only go by what someone told you, so whose life are you living? You can't be living your own, because your own would be you and being in charge. If you're going off of everything you do is off of what someone else said, no, you're not in charge at all.
Hey, you can have your safety. You need only give up your freedom.
As was stated on a press conference. Hey, man,
that's Xerxes.
Will you give up some of your rights?
Who's calling me?
Maybe.
Sorry.
Maybe. You know, I will never forget that press conference when he literally said, will you lose some of your rights? Maybe. He literally did this with his hands. Maybe. Wow. That is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life, because they're literally admitting that they will pretend to take your rights away from you in order to protect you. So they will ask you to give up something that God gave you, that is lawful, that everyone has a right to have, because it protects them in the long run, so that we can have more control over what's happening in your life. And you will agree to it.
Wow.
So understand the government on record recognizes that they will use fear in order to coerce you into doing whatever they feel is the course of action they'd like you to go about.
And these unprecedented times.
One of my favorites. A staple.
And these unprecedented times. Every single day is unprecedented times. It never happened before. It's this language. It's language. Language they use is never think that someone does not have a script written for them. Especially when it's getting a press conference. Which leads us into the what is, like I said, like we've been talking about the whole time, color of law. Leads us right into the do you want to read it off?
Yeah, I gotta find a bigger copy because the one that I have, even when I go to the IG, is still too small. But I have one in my notes.
Okay.
Yeah, give me like,
Senator. There's a senator. I'm just gonna talk about it until
cool.
I just just zoom in with
now the one it won't let me zoom in. That's the problem.
Yeah. So this is Senator Wayne Stump of Arizona at the time. It was back in 1985, if I believe, which you gotta understand was not that long ago. I was alive. I was a kid, but I was alive. It was December 10th, 1985. And he is going to advise law enforcement on what they should be doing and what their duties are.
Oh yeah. Got it.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's a great segue. So, dear Director Milstead, it has come to my attention that numerous individuals in our state have rescinded all of their contracts with the United States federal government, the state of Arizona, and each of its political subdivisions, establishing themselves as free men under the organic national constitution of the Republic of the United States of America. Consequently, they may be driving without auto registration, driver's license, or any other evidence of contract. Because many law enforcement personnel may be unaware of the contractual nature of the auto registration and driver's licenses, it is conceivable that this situation may lead to confrontation between these individuals and law enforcement personnel. I urge you to inform yourself and your personnel about this matter as soon as possible. If you would like to be briefed by someone knowledgeable on the subject, please contact me. In the meantime, in so much as this procedure is entirely appropriate when properly carried out, I would like to be personally notified of every such instance of confrontation in order that the persons involved and the public officials involved may be appraised of the correct procedure and the appropriateness of their actions on the part of each concerned. My office phone number is 225-5261, and I am requesting to be notified of the names and incidents along with the addresses and phone numbers of the participants of any such confrontation arising from the exercise of the person's free man status in order to evaluate the outcome or properly rescind contracts. Didn't even say to enforce anything, to make sure you know the contract is rescinded.
Like we continuously say, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Plain Sight didn't say it. Bach didn't say it.
No.
You should put that email on me.
And don't put it on me. If you have a problem, you might want to take it up with the senator. Don't tell me. Tell the federal government. Tell them they're wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. I would love to see it. Put me on a conference call, actually. Call me, put me on a conference call. Let me hear you talk this out with them. Let me hear you tell them that they are wrong about what they said and what their statutes are. I would love to hear it. because I've already had a different conversation. Actually, Plain Sight was actually in attendance at the time. So
yeah, that was good.
I mean, it was. I would love to hear it.
They act real different when the law is like in their face. I'm like, oh, I see. Suddenly they're receptive if you catch them in private. That's the caveat. You gotta catch them in private. They don't want to be embarrassed in public.
Yeah, they look at it as an embarrassment to do their job.
Think about that.
If you force them to do their job, they are being embarrassed. They are because the reason it is, if you force them to do their job, they are admitting to the fact that they are nothing but a public servant, and they are not in charge. And if your whole demeanor and persona that you try to portray to everyone in society is one of power and I guess supremeness.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna go with authority.
Authority, power, authority, and supremeness. When you are relegated to the position of a subject or a public servant, you don't feel so powerful anymore. And that is exactly why they try to tell the general individuals, the private individuals of every man-woman trial, try to tell them that they are superior, when in fact they are nothing but public servants. Does anybody ever, are we all familiar with the term servant means?
I was going to say, is that kind of like a citizen or something? But that was me being.
Yeah. Oh man,
it's too meta. It's too meta, man. I can't do it.
A servant was one that serves you, one that serves the authority, one that serves the master, one that serves the head. And everyone knows that all government are public servants. So who are they supposed to be serving? Because you can't say they serving the government, because the government is not even an individual. So how I don't even see how that's possible. And it says public servants, so it's serving the public. So that means men and women at large. So if they're public servants, how do they dictate to you what you must do as the public? Bing. I mean, it's funny because you have I'm laughing inside because I hear the it's like the little Jeopardy before the question, the answer lightning round. You can answer the question. It's like who is in charge? Dun, dun, dun. Final answer?
Are the people.
That's your final answer.
Yeah.
That's what you're going with?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see if it's up there. This is basically what it is. Like we say, we do this out of labor of love. We're trying to educate you and let you see for yourself. We don't want to tell you what things are. We don't want to browbeat you or push anything upon you. All we ask is that you do your own due diligence. Do your own due diligence. I mean, how is it going to hurt you? That's really how is it going to hurt you to have information? The only thing that can hurt is your ignorance.
So, can I sequester y'all for like a 2-minute sidebar?
Yeah.
All right. So, we understand that monarchy was once like a really popular concept, right? I mean, well, it seemed to be everywhere. And then eventually what happened with monarchs is you had to understand, like, you know the quote, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
especially when it's off your head.
When people don't understand, what people don't take in is, for you on the outside looking in, it looks beautiful. It's opulent to be a ruler, you know what I'm saying, to be the king. But the king was in constant fear of his life because at any moment you could get that Louis the 15th treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the 14th. You just understood. Like, see, so now when you understand what that they automated and try to like pull the position away, but try to commit the actions. I'm sorry, it just made me think of this reggae song by this group. I got a quote from it. I gotta share. So you'll understand when you hear this and understand, you know, where this comes from. It's, you know, it's Caribbean heritage month. So yeah. Anyways,
shout out.
If you have a heart ruling over all, ruling over every other subject part, you legislate with conscience and then make your rules. You base all decisions in unshakable truth.
Yeah.
And you can understand from what you witness what's occurring. They try to take away the physical man that you could run down and be like, hey, what the fuck did you do? You know, like, oh, sorry, you know, watch my language, but you know, what are you doing up here?
Yeah.
The crowd's coming for you now. They try to take that physical man away from you.
Actually, that goes into the whole, you know, Article 5 of the Constitution of Maryland. Maryland Constitution, Constitution of Maryland, whatever you want to call it. Declaration of Rights, when they talk about in Article 5 that all the powers of the king are invested in the people. Because once they got rid of kingship in the United States, that, you know, once we no longer had the England and British rule over top of us, everyone got to have that same kind of inner rulership, inner kingdom for themselves. That was the whole purpose of the United States, was to tell everyone in the United States that there is no one above you. There is no ruler. There is no king in this nation.
That's
that is what the republic means. You are your own king. No one can tell you what to do. As we read in Hale versus Hinkle, no one has rights or power over you unless you allow them to. Right? That's what the court decided.
The only way to avoid that is to trespass on someone else's right to be without your interference in their life.
So, I didn't say it. Plain Sight didn't say it. Bach didn't say it. Don't get mad. Don't be angry.
Yeah.
Don't lose your cool at anyone that is here trying to show you information, because we didn't write the information.
Definitely don't be mad at the information.
Don't be mad at the information. I honestly, if you really want to take it to where you should direct your anger, is you should direct it at yourself. Because as it's stated, what is it? The practice of the law is an occupation of common right. You declined to know anything about the law. You declined to know any information. You declined to read HR bills. You declined to take on legislative branch and see what they've been saying. You declined to see what the codes of law enforcement are. You declined to see what Title 18 is.
You declined to comprehend the Constitution.
You declined. You keep on declining to be part of the republic in order to be part of the democracy. You keep declining it. So who do you need to address your angst at? Your I guess hatred to, if you want to put it that way. You want to go that far.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. It's only right, man. You guys are amazing, man, what y'all do, man. And you bringing a lot of people's eyes, especially in the DMV area, man, to the right things that they need to be a part of and participate in. And we appreciate that, man.
Yeah. We appreciate everyone for listening. Remember, you are in charge of the government. The government is not in charge of you. You have an issue. Tell them. Literally tell them. Because they will try to make sure I lied to you not. This is from directly practical application. They do not want people being informed. The more you inform, the more you have the ability to tell everyone, the less likely they are to do anything about it. Simply because they are scared that you will come across and give everyone else information. So if you go in individually and say something to them that of any of this, that puts, for lack of a better term, fear into their hearts. Because that's exactly what they don't want. Because now you have given everyone power, not just yourself. So direct it to them. Let them know what's going on. And they will like, and 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, you know what? Here you go. Have at it. Do you. We don't want nothing to do with it. You know what? We're just going to leave you alone. Because they don't want you to come back and say, we don't want you. You are making sure that they leave everyone alone. Because they get their power from being in charge of everyone else. One man out, the odd man out, they're not really going to be concerned about. As you said, the senator said from Arizona, odd people out, we're not really concerned about. Let them have their stuff. You know, let them be them.
Yeah, leave them
because
alone.
as long as they're over there, we can be over here.
Hey, you know what it's like? I feel bad because I really just made this a 1-to-1. Basically, it's just like the corporate policy for shrinkage. Is anyone else's service going weird?
No, it's yours. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That fixes it.
Oh, I'm cutting out.
Okay.
All right. Well, let me just say it real quick. It's like the policy for shrinkage. Shrinkage is where they expect some stuff to be stolen from the store. They expect some people to free their minds and walk off the plantation. As long as you don't ruin the model and we're still making the general profit, we'll let that walk.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. Yeah, he's talking about shrinkage. They have built in. Yeah, they factor in the loss.
Yeah, that's crazy how my service just went bad all of a sudden.
But luckily, this is that we're coming to the
very end. Yeah.
So, like I said, we do this labor of love. You know, we want all you to make it home safely. We don't want you to be harassed. We don't want you being kidnapped. We don't want any more of our people being killed because as a black man specifically, we have a 1 in 10 chance. 1 in 1,000 chance of being killed by law enforcement. A 1 in 1,000, and I guarantee you know more than 1,000 men. So one of them is going to be killed by law enforcement, according to statistics. And you have even greater chance, which is about 1 in 400 or less. Excuse me, 1 in less than 400, that you'll be assault and battery by law enforcement. And I know you went to school with more than 400 people. I know you went to colleges that were campuses where there were more than 400 black men on campus.
Facts.
So we do this to make sure everyone makes it home. You make it home every day, and you make it home safely, and you can stop having to add that extra worry onto your life, then that's great. Because that's just an extra thing you have to worry about. You already got a stressful life. Now you got to worry about this extra stuff of just making it home. You have to worry about, are you going 5 miles over the speed limit? Are you walking in the direction of law? You know, are you just on the wrong? Are you on the street at night? You know, did you walk into or jog into a wealthy neighborhood? If those things are problems for you, then we are trying to assist you in making sure they're not. So that's my rant.
Absolutely, man. Thank y'all again. Being that it's Caribbean Heritage Month, man. I have a that you can check out. This is Soul Rebel. I want you guys to check this out when you get a chance. man. It's in Virginia, but they go all over the place. They do catering, they do delivering. They their food truck, man, out of Alexandria, Virginia, man. And their focus is Caribbean roots, American soul. So if you get a chance, check them out. I think they actually have an event coming up.
Hey, you gotta link me, dog.
Yeah, they got an event coming up. I think they're going to be out. The Washington football team in Largo, I think. They have a little food competition, and I think they're in it. So I think that's June 14th. If you guys are free, come up, taste some food.
I just followed the IG.
Yeah, they dope. They super dope. The foods that you used to, So you heavy.
Definitely don't want to be always having to travel up to NY to get some real good, authentic Guyanese,
Hey, that's exactly the background of this food right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in, man. And we are out of here.